The New South Wales Premier and the opposition leader will go head-to-head in a major forum today as they try to win over voters in Western Sydney, and it will be crucial. Reporter Julia Bradley has the details. Julia, what will they both pledge today?
Well, Laura, as you say, the focus for both leaders today very much on this Daily Telegraph Future Western Sydney Summit. This is going to be an opportunity for both Dominic, the Premier, and opposition leader Chris Minns to win over voters there and outline their pitches, their promises for people in that region. Now, Labor is set to announce a more than $1 billion package designed to fix local roads in Western Sydney. And this is going to be Labor's biggest election commitment to date, also setting up a clear difference against the coalition. Chris Minns wanting to invest in local roads rather than in new motorways in that area. Now, the coalition instead is wanting to offer rebates of up to $1,000 for small businesses in the West. And this would be for businesses that employ less than 20 people. And that would be available to be applied for as of the 1st of July. The coalition also wanting to spend $240 million on new health hubs and $300 million for new parks and open spaces. Now, interestingly, this summit does come just a day after Labor announced plans to shelve plans for 2 metro links that are designed to connect suburbs in Western Sydney to the new Badgerys Creek Airport. This plan has copped quite a bit of criticism from political leaders in the West, including from federal MP Di Lee, who says she's going to now advocate for more funding.
OK, we will be speaking to Di Lee a little later in the program, in the not-too-distant future as well. Let's talk about cost of living. This is front of voters' minds right across the country, but it will certainly be in sharp focus as the New South Wales election rolls around.
Out speaking to voters, it's clear that cost of living is that #1 concern as we head towards the state election on March the 25th. And this has been reflected in a new survey that's been done as well by Resolve Strategic for 9 newspapers, suggesting that a whopping 50% of people in New South Wales consider that their primary concern, including rising grocery prices, utility bills and housing. Now, behind this is the issue of health services, state of the economy, climate change and reducing carbon emissions. Interestingly to note, problem gambling is a top issue for only 2% of voters. This is something that Dominic Perrottet is going quite hard on this election. Now, New South Wales Labor is being seen as the party to best deal with rising living costs and climate change, while the coalition is seen as the best party to manage the economy. And when it comes to how voters want governments to fund infrastructure, most people have said they'd preferred spending cuts, government borrowing, tax increases rather than privatisation. And this, of course, comes as Dominic Perrottet just this week suggested that he is going to abandon that idea of privatising more state-owned assets in order to fund infrastructure. This is something that the coalition has long done, but it looks like he's now going to abandon this moving forward and look at other ways of funding infrastructure, something that could work well in the eyes of voters.